Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of a brand new podcast for dads by dads called The World's Best Dad Show. You're here with Brian and Adam. Are we the world's best dads? It's debatable. Brian,
We're
where do
going
you
to
come
debate that
down?
now. Yeah, we'll debate that now. We're going to find out. We're going to get some opinions from ourselves and come to some conclusions. I have my thoughts on your fathering.
Oh, we're going to judge each other.
I mean, and ourselves. I think we probably spend like most dads most of our days judging ourselves. So it might be refreshing to go ahead and judge some other, dad for a
Good
change.
point. All right, let's take care of a little business at the top of the show. We own a
Yes.
chocolate company called Fortunato Chocolate.
Mhm.
This podcast, I guess, actually, I don't even want to call it a podcast. Let's call it a show. This show is sponsored by Fortunato Chocolate. Check out the link in the description, www.fortunatochocolate.com. We previously had a show about chocolate, but I feel like we pretty much exhausted everything there was to say about chocolate, whereas fatherhood is sort of a never-ending journey. Would you
It's
agree with
something
that?
that we like in the industry, we like to call that an evergreen subject, Adam. It's industry jargon. I don't expect you to understand that, but in the industry, it's known as evergreen. Yes,
You're
continue.
right, because that went right over my head. Evergreen?
Mhm. Evergreen, yeah.
We're not green.
Right, but it's not about us. It's about the essence of greenness, fresh, ripe, ready to eat.
I'm not sure you understand the expression.
I mean, it's green, Adam. It's fresh and ripe and ready to eat. That's what it means. It's always ready to eat.
So just take our words for it. You could obviously see if you're watching this, we're trustworthy people. Come on. You can trust us. It's good chocolate.
Guys with faces like this have to be trustworthy or we'll be outcast. We'll be floating on an ice, like on a small piece of ice in the northern Atlantic.
If you like really good chocolate, check out www.fortunatochocolate.com. It's made with a cacao from northern Peru. Also, you'll see behind me now. I've got the image flipped, so I'm not sure which direct. Oh no, here we are. I'm swiveling.
This is the part where you do your weatherman impression.
I don't. Oh, here we are, right here. I wrote a book called Finding Fortunato about my brother Brian's time living in the northern Peruvian jungle. It's a really good book. You can check it out on Amazon. I wrote it, but it's mostly about Brian, and the link to that is also in the description below. It's a good book. Look, you can trust me, right? Come on.
Look at this guy. I mean, obviously he's trustworthy. He's got a long look. He's got an everyman's face. I mean, that's a trustworthy face right there.
Just a stone cold average face. You could trust it.
Just a guy walking around writing books about his bro. By the way, I just want to say thank you for saying that, Adam, but it's about a lot more than just me and my adventure. It's about our family's adventure in terms of starting our chocolate business. And yeah, we'd love it if you love this show, then please take a visit to fortunatochocolate.com, see what we've got. No pressure, no obligation. But if you don't do it, we're going to be personally upset and might call you on your cell phone. So
no pressure.
Just saying. Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah. We have I don't want to creep you out, but we have a script on our website that gives us your cell phone number just by visiting. No pressure.
That's right. If you listen to this podcast and don't go to the website, we actually also have a script that will allow us to identify you and call you up and shame you. We're not going to do anything physical or violent. We're just going to call you and calmly say shame.
Or text.
We might text you shame every day. That's even a better idea, Adam, because everybody hates getting texts.
Yeah, if you get a text from an unknown number and it's just the word shame, then you know that's from us.
You'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know.
Two other things here before we move on to the actual meat of the show. One, if you like this show, please click the like button on YouTube. I think it's a thumbs up. I think it is. And also,
it's good. The people are really getting a feling for how well you did your homework on this.
Preparation.
Adam. You're ready. Yeah, you're ready.
Yeah. Second, why not go ahead and subscribe so you'll be notified when we put a new show out. My goal is to have us put out a show every weekday. Hopefully it'll be me and Brian together, but if it's not, one of us might fly solo. But we're going to attempt to give you 10 to 15 to 20 minutes of hot dad talk 5 days a week. So go ahead and subscribe, and then you'll get a notification letting you know when a new show comes out. Brian, any thoughts on that?
I just would like to say in advance, we appreciate anybody who wants to click like, subscribe, thumbs up, or any other way that you can express support. It means a lot to us, just like it would mean a lot to us if you go to the chocolate website. But mostly we just want you to come and listen and enjoy and maybe grab a few laughs with us. Comment. We'll reply to your comments. Let's start a conversation. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. So we're
And by we, I mean Adam. Adam will
yeah,
respond to you. I don't have time.
I'll do
I
all
don't have
that.
time
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah. He'll be too busy texting the word shame.
That's right. It takes, I mean, it's like SHAME. There's no way to automate that. Unfortunately, we have the technology to find out who didn't go, but we don't have the technology to automate the texting. So it's a lot of work, Adam. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah. So this is I think it's safe to say, Brian, this is a topic that you and I are both passionate about. Fatherhood, being dads. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like being a dad?
Well, obviously, I'm not a father yet myself, but I hope to someday be a father. And that's why I think it's great that I can opine on fatherhood because I've got an exterior perspective. No, I am kidding. I am the proud father of 2 kids. And I mean, it's the defining job of your life in many ways. As a well-rounded person, you're going to have a lot of things going on over the course of a well-lived life, events and travel and up good times and bad times. But the through line of your adult human years as a father is going to be fatherhood and what's going on with those kids. I mean, that's how it feels to me. Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like being a dad?
This second or
Right
last
now?
night?
Well,
Or
I'll give me both. Give me your overall, how much do you like it? And
right.
then give me right now, where you
I
at?
mean, I gotta think it's universal. Like there's times when it's a 2 and there's times when it's a 10, and I'm probably a resting 7. That sound about
Okay.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I thought you were going to give me like a 12 or a 13, like off the charts. I love it.
You said it was 10, right?
Scale of, I
I
know,
was
I
supposed
thought
to,
off
if
the
my
chart.
wife asked me, I'll tell her 12,
Off,
obviously, but
off the chart. Oh, all right. Well, I'm
yeah,
a 10
yeah.
out. I mean, I love being a father. You're right, though. Sometimes it's a 2. Sometimes it's a,
Sure.
it's a 12. Like when you see your kid kick a goal at a soccer game, you're like
Absolutely.
12 out of 10. Or when you see your kid nail, because my kids play music. When you see your kid like nail a recital,
Hmm.
that's when you're the most proud. Sometimes it's a 1 when your kid's being a whiny brat and you just can't get them to
Hmm.
act right.
Now,
But
I have
on
a
the
question
whole,
for
I
you.
love it, dude. 10 out of 10.
I have a question for you. Are you teaching your kids math? Because 12 out of 10 is actually like not a great mathematical statement. I mean, 10 out of 10 is perfection. So if you're teaching them to already, we're having some problems with entitlement. We're having some problems with exaggeration. Like 10 out of 10 is top notch, right?
Well,
You're
I
going to
hope you're
12?
I hope you're not teaching your kids math, Brian, because it's called a mixed fraction, bro. 12
Mm.
out of 10, 1 and 2 tenths.
I am really unqualified to teach anybody math.
Yeah.
That's a great observation, Adam.
And we homeschool our kids, and I'm the one
Hmm.
who's in charge of math. And I
Hmm.
just this morning had something like a 12 out of 10, and I had to explain, yeah, actually there can be a 12 out of 10. So in your face, Brian, all
So
right?
did you then take it over?
With your lack of knowledge about fractions.
Did you then explain to them that that's 1 and 2 tenths and simplify it to 1 and 1/5 and do the whole
Oh,
1.2? Did you go through the whole thing?
I personally did all of that.
All right.
All right.
All
So
right.
let's so you're a 7 out of 10. Wow. I mean, I hope your
Well, I mean,
kids
I'm a resting 7. When I'm sitting on the chair at the house,
okay.
with and my son is sort of like playing soccer in the living room, or we're and
And
I'm
your
maybe
house is a
catching up.
mess.
The house a mess, and I'm sort of catching up on some emails, from the chocolate company before bed, and it's just like resting environment. It's a 7 because I'm still glancing up at my kid and I'm enjoying seeing what he's doing and he's talking to me and we're having a kind of a half-hearted interaction. If I put down the screen and I start throwing a ball with him and he or trying to score goals on him, then that goes up to an 8 quite easily. And if we go to the park and do that, that's a 9. Or if he wants to throw the football or go swimming, that's a 9. And like you said, watching your boy score a goal or your girl, do something amazing academically or in sports, that's a 10. That's a 10. There's you cannot duplicate the pride that you feel.
But globally, I'm going 10 out of 10. I really like being a dad. I
But
like that. That's
but
something I
wait a
like
minute.
about
That means
myself. Yeah.
that means you're kind of totally discounting the effect of those 1 and 2 out of 10 times.
Well, Brian, let me ask you this. All right. You snowboard. You've taken up snowboarding.
I have been known to snowboard. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm sure in the beginning you kind of sucked at snowboarding and you maybe fell and got hurt. And there were times when you got maybe snow in your boots. I don't know anything about snowboarding, but do you ever get snow in your boots?
No, not really. But
Oh, okay. Do you ever get So you
Snow
get
goes
snow.
places,
You
sure.
can see, all right, and it's cold and it might sting or whatever. You
Mhm.
show you drive, you make a long drive and you show up and it's not fresh pow, as you
Mhm.
snowboarders say, but rather
Ooh,
it's
pulling out the
slushy,
jargon.
but rather it's slushy. And on those days, you go, what? Maybe you say, why am I even wasting my time?
Mhm.
But globally, you love snowboarding,
Yes.
and it's something you're passionate about, and it's a 10 out of 10. When right? Would you not say that?
I'd say snowboarding. Well,
Because
I
you
mean,
could choose any hobby. You could do
I
anything
think
you want.
so. We're getting to something interesting here, Adam, which is that I think you're a more optimistic person than I am,
Oh, that's okay.
and so for me, I'd say snowboarding's a resting like for me, almost everything is a resting 7 because of those highs and lows, and it kind of averages out. And I probably shoot the middle of that road a little bit more than you. You are, I think,
That's
a
fair.
more
That's a good point.
ebullient and optimistic and probably upbeat and cheerful guy than me. So it doesn't surprise me. It surprised me that you say 10 and not 9.
Okay. So
But
the one,
I think this comes down to a basic personality difference between us, but that probably reflects the energy that we bring to fathering too, to some degree.
so life is probably a 7 out of 10 for you.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
that's right. But there's a
Dang,
lot of
dude.
I mean, and I really dislike the one and 2 out of 10 moments, but I really enjoy and seek out those 9 out of 10 moments. So
And
sure.
and I dislike them too. So I guess the underlying principle is there's a lot of 1 and 2 moments and they all
Mhm.
suck, but I would much rather be alive and live through the ones and twos
Mhm.
than, if you're dead, you don't have any ones or twos. So
Oh,
just to be
that's deep.
right,
Yeah.
did I just blow your mind, bro?
Ooh. Oh
Right?
boy.
So life is it's a zero-sum game. I mean, you either have everything or you have nothing, and it's better to be alive than to be dead. For me.
You're
So
almost coming across like some kind of a mass murderer here, Adam. Like it's a zero sum game for you to be alive. Does someone else have to
no,
be?
no,
Is
no,
that the
no.
way
It's
this
either
works? No.
you either are entirely. I guess there might be some exceptions, but on the whole, you're either all the way alive or you're all the way dead. And if you're
Mm.
alive, there's going to be ones and twos, but you got nothing unless you're living. So living is a 10 out of 10 because you either have the whole thing or you got nothing. Yes, you
Well,
know what I'm trying to say. You know what
I
I'm getting
think
at.
I think I understand what you're saying and how you feel about it. I'm not sure I agree, but I think that
That's
also
fine.
brings yeah,
Yeah,
it is fine because I think
yeah.
that also brings to bear, which is that you've got 3 kids and I've got 2. Between us, we've got 5 little humans that are looking to us for some guidance, and we're giving them a different sort of angles on things. Plus, they're just all different by nature because, as any dad who's listening knows, they kind of come out fully baked in some ways to begin with, but that's good because the world needs people that look at it as 9 or 10 out of 10, and the people needs people that look at it as a 7. I think the world needs that diversity, and kids need that diversity of input from their respective parents. So I don't mind it. I think this conversation actually illustrates what I would have already just intuited about the differences, different ways that we sort of approach life and approach parenting. Um, yeah.
So let me ask you. So what we just discussed is sort of a subjective outlook towards life.
Hmm.
Would you? And we're not gonna go very much longer. And I want to make sure we get to the what was supposed to be the main question of the show. But what we just discussed is subjective. Every individual has their own subjective philosophy on life. But would you say that there are objective qualities that all fathers should have if they're going to be considered a good father? Or is it completely
Sure.
diverse?
I think it's wildly diverse, but I think if we explore it, there have to be some kind of universal. I mean, not physically violent towards your kid, maybe. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's
Like
a
there's
that's a negative quality, but what about
right
positive qualities?
on the positive
Hardworking
quality,
or
hardworking.
responsible,
Yeah,
loving?
I'm not sure we have time in
We
episode
don't.
to actually dig into it, but I think it's a great thing to kind of circle back to because there have to be, and I think we should definitely look at them.
Okay,
For
let me pose you the main question of the show,
yes.
Brian. When it's all said and done,
Mhm.
and your kids are grown up, and you're
Mhm.
old, and you're sitting in a recliner, and you've got the internet implanted in your brain, and you're just sitting there, and it's
It
just
sounds a lot like right now, actually.
it's just feeding in.
Mhm.
What do you hope that your kids will say about you as a father when it's all said and done?
That they knew I loved them unreservedly and wholeheartedly, that it was never in doubt. There was never, even when I was angry, they knew for a fact that I loved them.
Okay. And for me, I'm just gonna go, since you didn't ask me. I probably didn't give you time, but I'll
Well,
just ask
yeah,
myself.
no.
I mean,
Hey, Adam, let me ask you.
it's supposed to
When
be
you're-
back and forth here, Brian, but I
when
guess
you're old and sitting in a chair in a couple of years now, when you're old and sitting in a chair and you've got the internet routed directly into your brain, what do you want to look back and know for sure that your kids will think or say about you? What is that thing?
that I taught them how to live a good life.
Mm.
That I taught them how to live a good life, bro. And like you said before, a good life is comprised of many things.
Mhm.
Profession, relationships, health, hobbies,
Mhm.
all that. You need all of those. Having kids of their own. I hope that when it's all said and done, they can look back and go, "Yeah, my dad taught me how to live.
That's
My
awesome.
my dad taught me how to live well."
That's awesome.
All
Now
right, bro.
I know we're getting short on time. I want to propose something for this show. How about if every show we give one anecdote, a quirky or funny anecdote that illustrates the unique joy and pleasure or pain or whatever it may be of being a dad? A quickie. What do you say?
I like it. You go first because my cell phone just started ringing in the background and I muted
Oh
myself.
boy!
All right, you
Again,
go first.
with the bad preparation.
All
Yeah.
right.
So yesterday, my son Dominic went on to a birthday party, and I had pickup duty from the birthday party and picked him up at an ice cream place near where we live. And I walked into a mostly empty ice cream store that was riotously loud with 7, 8, and 9-year-old boys that were sugared out. And let me tell you something. When you get 7 or 8 young boys completely sugared out, it is a scene, man. It's a zoo. And getting those guys separated and into cars and ready to go home was just like herding cats. So sugar plus 9-year-old boy plus group dynamic, boom, nuclear mayhem.
I got an 8-year-old and I know exactly what you're saying. The thing that is on my mind recently is, like I said, we homeschool and I teach the math, and my kids traditionally hate math with all their heart, dude. They really hate it. They hate it. If they could wave a magic wand and make math cease to exist from the fabric of physical reality, they'll do it tomorrow. And then everything would just be unmathematical. Satellites would be falling from the universe.
That's right.
Yeah. Everything would just be
College professors just,
yeah, yeah.
will math for food signs on the street. Yeah.
And so every day almost, I am the one who has to try to get them to buckle down and do something they really don't like. And I've been trying to tell them, listen, being able to buckle down and do something you don't like is a part of life. And that lesson might even be more important than the math. But and I'm the one that's kind of trying to browbeat them into learning that lesson. And the last week or so, they seem to have like crossed over a plateau, or they seem to have gotten to the top of a plateau and have understood what I've been trying to tell them for years. And I'm watching them get really good at something that they've been fighting getting good at, and they're accepting their fate. And that has been really a rewarding thing to see. And so this morning and yesterday morning in particular, it was just smooth sailing, and they just worked really well and did a great job. And that made me so happy, dude. That made me so happy. But prior to that, every morning was an anecdote of tears and snot. I got to put a roll of toilet paper on their desk where they do their work, just for the tears and the snot and the gnashing of the teeth, and just the avoidance of doing the thing that they have no way out of.
That
And
had
that's
almost a biblical quality the way you said it. The gnashing of the teeth.
oh yeah, the sackcloth and the ashes on their head, or whatever those guys did. Yeah.
What a mess.
So seeing those guys overcome a big obstacle and start to really excel at a thing that I've been trying to tell them would be good for them to excel at has been highly rewarding. And that's happening just over the last week. So I feel great about it.
Nice. Good stuff.
All right, bro. This is it. That's the end of the episode.
That is the end of the episode. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And please visit us at www.fortunatochocolate.com. Look for Finding Fortunato, the book that's coming out later this year.
The link is in the description.
Written by that guy right there, Adam Pearson. And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Goodbye.